Hello, my friends. Nobody can see you in the background, you're fine. I have been pretty MIA on the YouTube lately, and there's a good reason for it. Do you want to say why? We're moving. We are moving for the third time in a year and a half. It is what it is. But the good news, and if you follow me over on Instagram, you likely already know this information because I've shared it over the last couple of weeks. So, long story short, Brackston and I came across a property that was on 2.5 acres, and it had a really nice like outdoor patio, and it had a pool, and it had a barn, and like it had just enough that we would be able to homestead on a small enough scale to feed our family. Let's go turn the TV off. Let's do that because it's distracting me. And if it's distracting me, it's probably distracting you. And everything's chaotic right now. And a mess.
We're so close. Get the bell.
Because I'm packing.
Give it back. Okay, let's go. Okay.
Okay. Where's Chloe? Chloe?
Yes.
Can you please clean up the living room with Syril? Oh, you want to say hello? Say hi. Yeah, so why? Okay, so we put an offer on this property. We kind of went back and forth with the seller, got under contract. We, you know, got our inspection set up, all that type of stuff. Really quickly, things got weird and crazy. We had asked to please do a second showing because Brackston and I, the way we do it when we look at houses is we do not bring our children along when we go look at a house, especially if we're unsure if we want to purchase said house. So we always request a second showing if and when we've ever been under contract on a property. So we brought the kids out for a second showing, and the owners didn't leave. And at first we weren't opposed to that because we've always been a fan of our transactions where we knew our buyer or our seller, and it's always worked out really nicely. Well, we got there and we were told we couldn't go in certain rooms because people were there, and then the wife proceeded to talk to Brackston for like 30 minutes straight. He didn't even walk through the house with me. It was chaotic. There was very clearly, this woman was struggling with mental health issues. Like, it was quite clear. She did not want to move from the property. She made that very clear. She made it very clear that her husband was making them sell the property. She kept saying things like, we had a really hard winter, we can't afford it out here anymore. So like things are kind of like, okay, you know, they made it very, so we're you know, our offer was a VA home loan, which has certain stipulations as far as like, if there are safety concerns that come up in the appraisal, that is the seller's responsibility to bring that to code for it. They made it very clear that they would be unable to do anything monetarily if it came to it. There was a barn that was in question. It wasn't the big barn we really liked. It was a smaller barn, and it probably would have just been better to tear it down. We said we would be willing to help come tear it down because they didn't want to paint it because it had chip paint. Yeah, blah, 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 blah. We get our inspections done. The well inspection comes back. There's issues with the well pump. There's issues with, like, it doesn't have enough pressure in it. Like, pretty simple fixes, but like $1,000 and things needed to be done. The septic came back, it was like certain things weren't discharging into the septic that needed to be. They were going into a floor drain in the basement instead. Again, that was probably going to be a couple of $1,000s to fix. Turn that down just a smidge. You don't need that running so hard. And then we got our home inspection done. We show up for the home inspection report. Earlier in that afternoon, I got a call from my realtor, and she told me, hey, inspector's there. They did not leave the property for the inspection like they were supposed to. And they did not put the dogs up. The dog attacked the inspector and bit him. And I'm like, my heart just like sunk. And then it came up, when I came for the report for the inspection, there were so many issues with this house. Now, was it things that could be done pretty easily? Yes. But keep in mind, I just came out of a fixer-upper where I spent a lot of money on it, and this house pretty much had all the exact same problems that we had just dealt with. And after hearing the report, I got in my vehicle because Brackston was listening on speakerphone, and we both said to each other, we need to walk away from this. Because, I mean, there was mold all over the attic, which was why we had to abruptly leave our last home, was due to the same issue. They're having condensation and things go into that attic because things are not vented properly, and it has caused, I mean, when I looked at the inspection pictures, I about gasped because it looked identical to the photos that I had from my attic in my previous home that wound up being toxic black mold. And they had made it abundantly clear they were not willing to remediate anything. And I know from my experience, my toxic mold remediation of my home to get it safe to put on the market was over $10,000, and they were not willing to budge a single dollar. And so we knew that, and we were unwilling to pay the type of money that we were paying for a house that needed close to probably $50,000 in remediations to it to be done. There was a hole in the roof. There was from the tree branches falling. It had a nice metal roof that, you know, it wasn't a good solution. And so Brackston and I made the decision, we need to walk away from this property. And we did. And we felt really defeated, and we felt really like discouraged. Like, what should we do? Like, should we go back to moving out of state? Moving out of state with such a large family is just so complicated. Yeah. It's so complicated. It's so hard. You have to line up a job to get a mortgage, or you have to rent, and just like all these things that, like, and we were just like, man, like, we really were feeling the desire to stay here. And 2 days later, my friend messaged me on Facebook and sent me a listing of a woman on Facebook who was notifying her friends that they were getting ready to put their home on the market. And this is how much they were going to sell it for. There were pictures. It's on almost 12 acres of land. The house that we were buying was built in the like 1900s. This house was built in 2007. There's just this endless list of things that were wonderful. And I showed Brackston after hesitating, because we had literally just had the conversation the night prior of, let's just stop looking. Let's just give it a break. We're comfortable here. We can just stay here and save money for a while. So I hesitated, and I said, I have to show you this property because I think that you would be very disappointed if I did not show you this property. And so I showed it to him, and he goes, message them. So I sent a message to the owner figuring I'm probably not going to get a response. They probably are getting flooded and overwhelmed with interest. I go to bed that night. I'm just praying about it. And the next morning, the owner messages me and she says, hey, I'm getting off of work soon. I really want to chat with you about this and discuss the details with you. Let me know. And from there, every single stone has fallen into place so ridiculously easy. Like, the road has just been paved with no strife, no conflict, just transparency, honesty, easy. Everything has been so easy. And after talking with her over the afternoon, I sent her a copy of our pre-approval. We set up a time for us to show it. I told her, I'm like, I'm gonna be completely honest with you because this was a for sale by owner property. So I was just talking to the owner directly. I wasn't using my realtor and whatnot because they preferred to not use a realtor, and we were fine with that. We have bought and sold enough houses that we have an understanding of how this process works. And I just told, I was very transparent with her. I was like, if this is as wonderful as it is when we come to see it on Saturday, we are prepared to give you a full price offer. She said that there were 3 or 4 other people who wanted to look at the property. She said, I do not want to show them the house. Like, I think that you guys are the right fit. They have been building this farm for the last 5 years using Joe Salatin's principles, which is something that we're really passionate about as well. He's a disabled veteran, just like my husband. They have a lot of the same injuries. They did a lot of the same work on their deployments, you know, separate times and whatnot. They want to go move and be with their grandchildren. We want to move our children to a farm, and it just one thing after another. It was just beautiful. They're selling us the house completely furnished. So we have to get rid of like all of our big furniture and like just overwhelmed by their generosity. And I mean, just it's been one of those experiences where you know that the Lord is working in this, and this is where you're supposed to be. This is like the light and the rainbow at the end of a 4-year just hardship after hardship and heartache and just hard. 4.5 years of hard. And it just feels like the sun is coming out after a storm. And so,
can we mention that they're leaving us 2 ponies and a donkey?
Yeah, we're getting 2 ponies, a donkey. They're leaving us 4 livestock guardian dogs, some chickens, some ducks. We're bringing our chickens and our ducks and our turkeys. And it already is like fenced in. There's pens, there's a barn, like there's just everything. We're able to purchase all of their equipment that they've used to maintain the property. Like they gave us a really good deal on all that. Like it's just been one thing after another. And our inspections have went tremendously well. Our appraisal was with flying colors. Like the VA did not say, like they came back and said, hey, it appraised for more than what you're purchasing it for, and you don't need to do any repairs for the loan. And so right now we are literally just waiting on our water test from our well to be completed. Hold on. So we're literally waiting on this well test to come back. It takes 7 to 10 business days, and we got the bacteria results back. We did need to get the well chlorinated. That's no big deal. They're getting that already done. I talked with the seller this morning and she said we're getting it chlorinated over the next 2 days. We've got it taken care of. We're paying for it. We're good to go on that end. So after that, we're literally just waiting on our clear to close. We're currently about 13 days away from closing. They're going tomorrow to meet with their attorney and sign all their closing documents. And we have our closing scheduled for the day that we close. So it is official that I mean, we're just days away from the clear to close and getting to the signing table to purchase our almost 12-acre homestead. And the kids are super excited. They've been out there, they love it. The property is beautiful. I'll attach some photos at the end of this video so that you can see. I can't do a walk along video yet until we purchase the property because I don't foresee us going back out there until our walkthrough. So the next time that I'll show this on YouTube, it'll be we've purchased the property and we're there. We're really excited, like really excited. We're gonna have 2 bathrooms after having 1 bathroom for the last 10 months. We're gonna have a dishwasher after not having one for the last 10 months. Like, it's the little things in life. And so the basement is amazing. We're gonna be able to put bedrooms down there and finish it out because it's dry. It's never been wet a day in its life, and it has 10-foot ceilings. It's amazing. So I am really looking forward to getting moved. YouTube content has been so hard living here because number 1, I have terrible lighting here. Number 2, it's cramped. Number 3, it's just chaotic. And we have just kind of been surviving one day at a time. So I'm really looking forward to moving and kind of restarting my YouTube journey. But this time I get to bring you guys along as we start homesteading, as we get back into doing cooking content, grocery hauls, whatever that may look like, homeschool content and whatnot. That's what's in store for the rest of this year. So we move in the beginning of June. And I would foresee that towards the middle of June, towards July, sorry, careful, you will start seeing new content from me. So in the meantime, if you want to follow along, I'll put my Instagram handle down below and you can keep an eye on all of that. So see you guys after we move.